This episode of the Eskimo Empire podcast is brought to you by the Well Endowed podcast from the Edmonton Community Foundation. The pod explores the impact of passionate people who are working to make Edmonton a strong, vibrant city to live in. The Edmonton Community Foundation helps people create endowment funds, and the podcast tells the stories of how those endowments intersect with the community. A couple of recent episodes talk about the COVID-19 Rapid Response Fund and the All In for Youth program. You can subscribe at thewellendowedpodcast.com. That's thewellendowedpodcast.com. Enjoy the show.
Hey, fellas, we ain't gonna ever back down from nobody. I don't care who it is. This is a brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us go down, we have another, and another, and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody, light me up.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire podcast.
This is Trevor Harris.
Hey, how you doing? This is number 58, Travis Bond.
This is Christoph Malumba Chimanga.
Hey there, this is your co-host, Kenny Stafford.
Hey, this is Ryan King.
Calvin McCarty.
And you are listening to...
You're listening to the Eskimos Empire.
Listening to the Eskimo Empire podcast.
The Eskimo Empire podcast. Hope you guys enjoy listening.
Welcome back to the Turf District for the Eskimo Empire podcast, and we are a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. I'm Andrew, and joined virtually by my good friend Superfan Mike.
A virtual hello to you, sir.
And a virtual hello right back. How's the last couple of weeks been, man?
It's been up and down. We're still in this crazy, end of times.
Not even weird times, end of times. Excellent.
Well, maybe not quite, but maybe it's slightly dramatic. But no, otherwise it's been good. Spending a lot of time with the family, working on the backyard, getting that all set up, which is kind of nice. I've had a few gatherings with neighbors. Gathering being a loose term is, you stand on your driveway, I'll stand 10 or 20 feet away and yell at you while I hold a beer. It's fun.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it a community.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. But otherwise, yeah. And then just working in the basement on the football room. So getting closer.
It's awesome.
I've been finally getting to the point where I can display some things that I've been wanting to for a long time. Discovering things I didn't know I had. It's like, hey, I have one of those. Weird.
Neat.
Yeah, well.
It's good to be on top of these things.
Exactly. I can't find this, but I found that.
Neat.
I'll take that trade,
Yeah, that works out pretty well.
Yeah,
Nice.
I can't find my 2014 signed football, but I found a 1980 signed football.
Well, that's a win.
That is definitely a win.
Yeah, exactly.
I would not trade for them straight across. Just saying.
No, that was a good one. Yeah, not that 2014 was horrible, but it's
No, it's a good year.
It's not 1980.
Yeah, we won a Grey Cup in one of those years.
Correct. Yes, I think we did make the playoffs in both of those years. It was 2013 that we did.
Not so much. Yeah,
not so much. Yeah, exactly.
I do have two 2012 balls, but again, those not quite as in demand.
You don't say. Weird. You don't have any high... there's got to be some good quarterbacks on that ball.
Yes. Very, very good
Stephen
one.
Giles, of course. Like
Gary Joseph.
Hall of Fame, Stephen Giles, right?
What hall is that?
I'm not entirely sure. His own.
Okay.
His own. Like
his
at his
mom's
house.
home.
At his
Yes.
house. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the one that we have.
Yes.
Yes. Did you have a good Father's Day?
Yeah, it was a great time. Got to sleep in a little bit, which was nice. And the fam made me breakfast.
That's weird.
Well, sleeping in might be different for me than if you were to talk to, say, the Empress of the Oven, Janelle.
Right.
She might sleep a little later than I do when we say, sleep in till 7.
Correct. Yes. Excellent. Okay.
So yes, I got to sleep in till 7.
Nice. Well,
It was nice. And then, I had some breakfast. Family got me, had a place called Anvil Metal Art or Metal Anvil Art. Should find that out. Make he's a metal worker, and he made a logo. It's about 2 feet across, awesome. 2.5 feet across. So it's going to go on the fence. So, get a little bit of Edmonton Eskimos out there. So that's always a good thing. I've had enough people asking me, how come there's no more Eskimo stuff in your backyard? Just chill. It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah, exactly. The couches weren't green and gold. I was really like, what? What is going on here?
Yeah, well, they're black, but they can be spray painted.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you have plans.
Yes. I don't know if I'm going to get away with these plans, but hey.
Yeah. I went and took a few ciders over to my dad's so that we could sit 6 feet apart out front of his apartment building and have a cider together and chat for a little bit. So that was kind of nice. Yeah, nice to get that little bit of time with him in. And it's harder, right? As your parents get older and you're in the midst of all of these weird and crazy times, it's like, how do you get that opportunity to sit down and connect? And the greatest part for me was that I could just sit down and rattle off, like 6 or 7 of the many dad jokes that I've posted on Facebook, and he enjoyed them thoroughly. So that was a nice chance to visit.
Did the Beatles come up at all?
Yes, they did, because I did tell him I think that I have an addiction to the Beatles, and my friend said, well, maybe you need to get help. And I said, no, I've already got that one. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a classic.
That's a good one. Yes. So they did come up a tad. Yeah. It
wouldn't be a chat with your father without the Beatles coming up. So
that's correct. Yes. It would be wrong. Yes. Although I think his favorite was still the, people would say I couldn't get over my Phil Collins addiction, but take a look at me now. Yeah, I think that was his favorite. He did definitely have a good laugh over that one.
On the plus side, I really enjoyed him in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he's never heard that.
I'm waiting for the residuals that are coming at someday. Yeah.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, thanks. Really appreciate that. We should say Commissioner Kayla not with us this evening because she is celebrating her nephew's graduation.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Great kid, and congratulations to him and all the grads from 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a year they're going to look back on years from now and be like, it was not the greatest grad thing itself, but everybody's going to remember my grad year.
Yes, that's true.
Everybody is going to remember my grad year.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. There's lots of, a few things happened in this.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of power to the parents for making it work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parents out there that are birthdays. You had your son, Riley, have his birthday, and it's not quite the same.
Right.
Having a birthday during, a lockdown.
Yes.
So, you make it work, and you do what you can to make sure it's special for them. And, big kudos to all the parents out there.
Yeah, it's a tough one to do, but you find a way, right? So,
yeah,
absolutely. I do want to give another thanks out to David Morley for joining us a couple of weeks ago. It was popular as always and a fantastic conversation. If you haven't had a chance, go back and download that one and listen to the boys because their insight is awesome.
Well, they're gold, right? There's a reason we love having them on, and there's especially a reason that people like to download those particular episodes and listen to them more than once. So
yeah, absolutely, and just they can come back whenever they like. We have lots of space for guests these days.
We have some space.
Yeah.
You are available to talk football, or at this point, we're not even that picky. We'll talk about lots of things.
That's exactly. You want to talk about your 80 T-shirts like Morley has? Great. We'll bring you on.
We've only seen 59 so far.
That's 60. Today was 60.
Well, today was 60, but he doubled up on one.
Oh, cheater.
Yeah. Well, it was diversity is strength. So,
Fair.
That was
a good one. Absolutely. Yes. All right. Let's talk a little bit of what football news that we might possibly have.
Yes.
The Esks did a live stream over dinner last Tuesday night with Kwaku Boateng and Jordan Hoover, and hosted by Chris Sheets, all, of course, through like a Skype or Zoom or something along those lines. Right. And I noticed Kwaku picked the perfect T-shirt to wear.
I was just going to say, he was the best dressed of the lot.
Absolutely, well, as he always is. And
That's
yet,
true.
even more so in this particular moment.
It's true. 3 people who have been on the podcast. All 3 of them, but
That's
only
true.
one of them. Yes.
That's true.
We've had Mr. Sick Flow on.
Correct. Yes, we have.
Neither of those gentlemen have been in the Turf District.
No, but Chris Sheets has.
That's true. Chris Sheets has. And,
He was here. We had the Palm Bay for him, and it was here.
We did, and then he had to work like 2 hours after he left, practically. So,
Pretty much.
that's a trooper.
Absolutely, yes. But
I couldn't do that.
No, me either. But I do appreciate that they were all on there and trying to find a way to kind of connect. I'm kind of hard to, I know says me, it's a YouTube live stream, so it's a little hard to ask questions. But trust me, if you join in on YouTube Live on Monday nights, you can ask questions and we will answer them.
YouTube Live!
Thank you, Jed. That'll never get old. Yeah.
Never.
No. Now on some other news notes, practice facilities were kind of given the okay by the CFL to open again for guys to get in and practice, but the Esks did not reopen, just because they didn't have a dedicated weight room.
Right.
And which makes sense at this particular moment. They asked players to continue to train at home. Now, you did get a notice there that Commonwealth supposedly in like the community center in general, they're looking at opening it back up on July the 6th. So I wonder if that will maybe make a difference.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping so. The fact that it is a city-run facility makes it a little more difficult for us than a privately owned place.
Right.
But they got to do what they're going to work. They're going to work with what they've got, and that's with the people that are here. And there's a lot of players on every team that aren't in their city or even, for this matter, the country.
Right.
So for those people, they're going to have to do just like everybody else. So it would be great to see them get together and have that chemistry start getting built, but at this point, everyone's safety is the most important thing.
Well, and I wonder too, because do you remember last year when we were going to practices and then they had that whole kind of workout area outside beside the field?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if once Commonwealth opens, if they might set up something like that would just be specific for players in town, that they, at least while it's nice out, like, come and work outside, and at least then they have their own kind of space, because I think, and we've seen this in other as teams open practices. The Tampa Bay Lightning had to close it down because then they had a couple of cases of COVID come up, and it's happened with some basketball teams and things like that. So I wonder if that will also affect even just getting together for practicing. So we may be taking a cautious step on this to not jump right to it, without having a little bit of a sectioned off area.
It's super tough. You've got, especially for these younger guys, and in the NHL especially, or the NFL, NBA, you've got younger guys who have a decent amount of money coming in.
Yeah. And
it's like, you can't spend any to stay at home and not interact with any people.
Right.
That's super tough. It's a hard ask. For sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. On the other hand, we're all going through things with our jobs where you have to do things differently. And so
my thing is the plus is, if you're going to lock someone in a bubble, as some people have been talking about, then you're saying, do this, you get paid only at game time, but you also don't get to see your family for the next 3-4 months.
Right.
That's a super hard ask for half your pay.
Oh, absolutely. No, I can see that. And I want to talk about that pay part in just a second. But I know that some teams are back. Calgary had some guys back on the field. And a couple other spots. I think the Lions as well. I think I saw that they had some guys into a practice facility. So the little things like that, you want to cling to the hope side of it. It's the rest that we were just talking about, that it's like, who knows? So let's talk about the CFL side. I know that Randy Ambrosi put out an update last week asking for the teams to reduce the football operations cap by 20%. And at first, when this was leaked, there was quite an uproar, and with fair reason. I mean, you and I have talked about it before, that the operations cap was maybe not put in, we don't think, the exact right way in the first place. So now asking to reduce it makes it even harder. But I know the first thought is that they were actually going to reduce the number of coaches, but they didn't do that in the end. It was just a pay or a salary cap issue, not a number of people issue. Yeah,
they had originally, it had come out that they were going from 11 coaches to 9, which is 20%. But that would be a really tough to do when you've got a head coach, a couple of offensive coordinators, a special team coordinator. There's 4 of your 9 right there.
Right. Yeah.
And then you've got strength and conditioning coaches as well, and everyone else under the operations cap, your trainers, your equipment people.
Right.
Like it's hard to do, but I've got to wonder, can't the government is hopping up a lot of companies that are saying, listen, if you, instead of putting them on EI, if you are laying them off, if you were to keep them employed, we can cover a percentage of their salary.
Right.
Maybe that could work as well. I don't know, but I suppose people are going to say, is it worth working? Is that more than the CERB or CERB or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah.
Is giving me at $500 a week kind of thing.
Yeah. And it goes both ways, honestly.
Sure.
So, because my company has definitely researched that, and when the one thing is that it depends on what you're saying that person's pay is. Like that actually makes a difference, right? So I'm sure that will make an interesting case on both sides. But the one thing that I did like about Randy's announcement was that he did say that he had taken a pay cut and that they had done some layoffs, and there was some time rolled back as well at the league office. So it's not like he was asking just the teams to do it and they weren't doing it too. Like everybody is feeling the pinch and needing to take some rollbacks in time or rollbacks in pay or being laid off. Like that's kind of where we're at this moment. So it's affecting all of the other league that we love. Yeah.
And the world in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not just us and it's not just them. It's everybody is feeling that.
Yeah.
So, now I know he said that they're trying to find still some solutions for return to play. And you talked about the bubble, which is, everybody being in one spot. And you're right. It is a huge ask. I 100% agree. I don't know. In the long run, and I know that Lamar Durant had said this too when they interviewed him. It was, well, if that's the solution so that we can play football, yes, it's a sacrifice, but I want to play football. And some guys will play that way. Yeah, some guys will feel that way, and some guys won't. And that I kind of relate that though to even like your regular job that you're going to. Like there are a lot of places right now, not like we were just talking about, are having to lay people off or tell them, well, we have to reduce your hours to 60% or 50%. And they're right. They can stay at that 50% or they are more than welcome to go somewhere else. That is, and I think we have to kind of keep an open mind that the players are going to choose what they would rather do. And if they want to play, then they're going to make those sacrifices and they're going to get there and they're going to do what they can. If they are saying, well, that's too much, well, then I guess as much as I hate to say it, then they can find a different place to go.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
And if they want to stay in football, because there may not be other options.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And, I look at it, and as much as I understand the argument from some of the players of, okay, well, we're like a prorated pay and how that, that's not what I signed for and all those kind of things. But welcome to where everyone else in the world is at.
You sign it a certain amount, but don't forget it's all based on a percentage of income. Mm-hmm. And if their league isn't going to make that income because they're not going to have fans in the stands
right.
for those missing games, let alone probably the games they are playing,
right,
then you get a percentage of that and your percentage goes down. If you want to link it to the actual money that are coming in, revenue,
right,
then you've got to take the good with the bad. It's like a variable mortgage, right? If the interest rates go up, well, it doesn't help you as much as when they go down.
That's correct. Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm not trying to say that the players don't have an argument. I'm not going against the players' side. I totally see the biggest thing, and we talked a bit about this on the YouTube Live, is the players in the CFL have to get together and find a nice way to speak to each other. Because right now, Randy says I will give him credit that he's saying all the right things. We want to be partners and we want to do this, but then that doesn't actually seem to be happening in the background. So he's getting a bit in trouble for that. On the other hand, we've got the Players Association that is going and just dragging everything out on social media instead of let's get in a room and talk about it. So I think both sides are not really doing it the way that I think they should be.
Yeah, it's tough because you just want them to work it out.
Yeah.
Don't play politics. Don't play, games. Just make it happen.
Yeah. Now, one thing I did hear this week, I mean, one of the reasons that Randy Ambrosie was brought in was because he had such great success negotiating things on a financial side. And I wonder if this is part of that. The hard part for that as fans is like, we're just like, can't we get along? Like, come on, guys. Like, I
mean, for me, what I loved about Randy is that he was a player. He was a player rep with the CFLPA, and he's been on the business side. So he kind of encompassed all of those sides of things. I don't think there's a commissioner out there that could really successfully navigate a COVID world.
No, I mean, in the long,
100%, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just would like to see them get. I mean, I don't think we're at the point where we're as bad as like Major League Baseball or NBA, where they're they're looking at at not having anything. Right. I just think they just need to get in a room and talk, though. Like they need to, and then come out of the room. And this is exactly what I heard on the Third Down Gamble podcast, so I'll give them credit for it. But
for sure.
Come out of the room and then come up to the mic one at a time and say, you know what, here are the things that we agree on. And we may not see eye to eye on everything, but we're going to work on it. And honestly, from a public standpoint, as much as we want to know all of those things, just let them work on it. Just let them figure it out. We don't need to know everything. Just get it sorted out. Like that's, I could care less about knowing every last thing. I just want you to fix it.
Yeah, please.
And by fixing it, it's looking more and more like there could be nothing this year.
Yep. And who knows what next year even looks like at this point.
Absolutely. Right. Until we have a vaccine or some other way to do this.
Some viable way to treat it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just talked about this, but these other leagues that are opening practices and then having to close everything because their cases appear. Right. Yeah. So, and in Edmonton, we had done so well to start, and now now our cases are slowly climbing and going to the most active cases, not the most as far as overall and since it started, but
currently active. Cases. Yeah. And, we have passed Calgary.
Yeah, as far as active cases, yes. So that, to me, that's it makes it difficult. You see, okay, we're going to open, and we have those 4 restaurants downtown that all ended up opening and then now all closed again. So we're taking one step forward and 2 steps back, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, I will admit I'm a little worried, but I don't think that they've sat down to exhaust every possibility. But we're getting a lot closer to that drop dead date. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, they've basically said the border is still going to stay closed for travel until July 21st now.
Right.
And once we hit that July 22nd, 23rd date, if they are saying not till August 21st, then I don't see how we can have a season.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Well, and now with the Canadian, did they not give the exception for NHL players to cross?
I'm not sure.
I thought I heard that. I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that. And so they could keep the border closed on the 21st, but if we get the exception...
Sure. Then at that point, they can come over. They may have to isolate for 14 days, isolate as a group for 14 days or whatever. And, have the temperature checked every day and everything else. But again, how bad do you want it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is tough all the way around. I feel for the players, for them having to face the decision of, can I do that for 3 or 4 months? I absolutely feel for them. Yep. And I also feel for the owners in the league the governors that have to turn around and say, well, if we're going to do this, is this actually going to just lose us more money, or is it going to actually, balance it out somewhat?
Right.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty hard to say.
Well, when you're in such a gate-driven league, it's going to be so tough. They're going to have to be so creative and pull out all the stops to be able to make it work, that they're not going to lose a fortune playing games with no fans.
Yeah, absolutely. So I saw this question before. I know that we've already paid our season tickets and all those types of things, but let's say they say, okay, we're going to carry that credit over for the games that we missed,
which is what they said.
Yeah. And then if decide if they find a way to play the games or whatever, would you pay an extra fee to get a feed on that game, or just something to help out further, or would you just be what is your feeling on that?
Well, obviously, the money that is coming in, if there are no games there, they would just roll that over into next year. So the 2021 season, when that happens, we're not going to be paying for our tickets because we already paid for them.
Correct.
As well, they're going to give us a 10% credit towards things, I believe, at the Esk store.
That's what I thought I heard, yes.
So, for every $100 you spend, you get $10 at the Esk store, which is, to me, great, because we're going to spend it anyway.
Correct.
And if we're not going to, and if we were going to spend money on tickets next year, now we're in a position we can do that. Not everyone is. So I'm not saying that everyone should do that, but if you have the ability, it's a nice perk to let them have that money and not have to try and refund it.
Right.
Above and beyond that, would I pay extra? So I'm just saying that doesn't really factor into the equation for would I pay right now to see tickets, because I'm not losing that money. That money is just going next year.
Right.
So would I pay money? I mean, I would. Right. But I don't know if I'm necessarily representative of enough fans to make that work. And what's some money? Are we talking $10 a game, $5 a game, $20 a game?
Right.
That's a very different kind of story. And how is TSN going to work with that? Because TSN is the national broadcaster. Yeah. So are they going to say, hold on a second,
we're showing it anyway. This. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's going to make it hard, right? And maybe they can make something work. Maybe they can say we'll split the money with the broadcasters. Or who knows what, right?
Or would you pay the $10 to have the Superfan Mike cardboard cutout in the stands?
Oh, hell yes. Especially if I got to keep it after. Come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We could have, you get to pick whatever name you want and your face on there. And so you have your face and your little name on the bottom. And then you can pay. So let's say we end up with 5 home games. So pay $50. They print it, put it in your seat in the stands, and afterwards you get to keep it.
Oh, hell yes. All day.
Yeah. Especially, and I want yours to be like jazz hands. That's
that one, or my picture from the last trading card we had with Randy's ring. Was it Randy Spencer's rings?
Was it Randy Spencer? I thought it was.
There's only 2, so that's why I didn't think it was Andrew Jones.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And they're
Andrew
both
Jones.
Eskimo rings.
Oh, okay. So they got to be Randy's.
Got to be Randy's. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's that.
That picture right there.
Should I do mine with the one eyebrow up?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
pretty
you
much
should.
how I look at them when they're playing badly anyway.
Exactly.
Come on,
You
you
just have you
guys.
shaking your fist.
That's Joe's, because
That's
he's
true.
always shaking his fist at the sky.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, you kids.
Hey, you
Old man yells at cloud.
get off my lawn. That's right.
That's
Yeah.
fair. He's got a nice lawn.
He does, yeah. Oh, we say that to the other team whenever they run into Commonwealth anyway. Get
That's
off our lawn.
That's right.
That's right. We win. All right.
Joe knows lawn.
Perfect. This is a hashtag
See,
Joe
it's the
knows
one thing-
lawn, not Joe ruins lawn.
I was going to say, it's the one thing Joe doesn't ruin.
Perfect.
So,
Okay, well, it's good that we're aware. Let's just to be specific on that. That would be not Joe Pritchard.
yes.
That'd be Joe Balaneski, because he called Joe out last time when we did this. So
Right.
to make sure that we get the
Well,
right one.
As soon as we're talking about lawns, though, he's going to be like, no, that's me.
That's right. It's mine. Yeah,
I'm the lawn king.
it's beautiful. I sleep in it because it's so soft. That's right. On that note, let's take a quick break. We will be right back with the all-new football movie bracket choices for this week. And, of course, a lot more.
This is Trevor Harris, and you're listening to the Eskimos Empire Podcast.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow at Esks History on Twitter.
And even more of my pics on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show. This episode is also brought to you by World on Fire, a new podcast from CBC Edmonton. World on Fire is a new 5-part series that takes you to the front lines of out-of-control wildfires in Canada, Australia, and California. Recorded during the COVID-19 pandemic, hosts Adrian Lamb and Mike Flanagan look at what it takes to find hope in the midst of fear and destruction, and how communities affected by wildfires rebuild. The series examines the high costs that wildfires cause to people's health, homes, and communities. Find World on Fire on the CBC Listen app or wherever you listen to podcasts. You, of course, can also find it online at cbc.ca/worldonfire. That's cbc.ca/worldonfire. That sounds a little scary, kind of, but I like the fact you're finding the hope side.
Yes.
Is good. So
that's what turns it around.
Yeah, as I was reading that, I kept thinking back to the Fort McMurray fires, right? And some of those images that we saw then that was just so vivid,
right?
And one of the things for me is a lot of the people that were displaced. For my business, we were actually going to the expo center to set some of these people up on CPAP and stuff. And it was intense. Right?
Yeah.
So, crazy time. So I'm excited to listen to this and just kind of see, how they find that rebuild.
I don't know, man. It's nothing more destructive than nature, right?
Absolutely.
And it just what it can do to you, and no matter what you've got, you really can't prepare for it.
Yeah,
so,
no kidding.
To have everything you own taken from you in the blink of an eye, most things are replaceable, but there's just some things, especially when you have kids, right? That it's like those memories and those things you have from their childhood that you just can never replace, and I can't even imagine.
Well, look at the room behind you. Oh my goodness.
or you, for that matter.
Exactly.
But again, everything that I've got behind me is still just stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? As much as it would suck. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yes. Yes, it would.
But, yeah, it's stuff that's at least replaceable. And, well.
Not replaceable. It is stuff, though. You're right. I'll agree with
stuff.
you there.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do a Cold Snap League update, shall we?
Yes.
I am still waiting to play my Week 4 game because we had a bit of a delay with one of our players doing a bunch of Army things in the States, so that made it a little bit harder. But I should be getting to that game this week where I take on the Baltimore Stallions. You are, after your big cheater win, you're playing now the other cheater in the league, so this should be fun.
Well, to be fair, the 1981 Edmonton Eskimos have never cheated.
Oh, is that right?
That is correct.
Except when they knocked out Ricky Ray. Yeah.
This is the greatest team that ever played in the CFL.
There you go.
If
I can't argue that. I don't know.
Exactly.
Like,
see?
Works out well for you.
As I like to tell people, if you're talking about the CFL era, so the CFL started in 1956. CF 1958 is the CFL. From say 58 to present, no team had a better winning percentage than the 81 Eskimos.
Right.
So the 16-2 Eskimos aren't as good as the 14-1-1 81 Eskimos. So
right. All right.
Greatest team in the history of Canadian football.
I appreciate that you said it that way so that Ryan from the Horsemen could hear it properly.
Yes, because they always say, well, we went undefeated, blah, blah, blah. You only played 2 teams. Shut up. And one of them was Saskatchewan. I mean, come on.
We already know the backlash that's going to happen in this. So tell me about your Cold Snap game this week.
So it's been great playing the 2019 current Grey Cup champions with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So far, we've been keeping Andrew Harris at check, which has been a problem for many teams. I was saying on the YouTube Live, for some reason, and this is the 4th game we've played, I always seem to have a slow start.
Yeah.
I always seem to have the other team scoring first. And I do better in the second half, and it's currently 10-8 at halftime, so still very close.
Yes.
Defenses are doing what they're supposed to do, and hopefully now we can just pull away in the third, which seems to be my quarter, and just lock this thing away, and then let loose the Dan Kepley and Dave Fennell and Quick Parker hounds, and let's just wrap this up.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm excited for you to get that win.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. This week, excited. Yeah.
Currently, we are tied in the standings.
Correct. Yes.
Winnipeg is 3-0. You and I are each 2-1, but I, of course, am ahead of you because of head. Yeah. So if I do win, when I do win, then I'll be tied with Winnipeg, but again ahead of them in the standings. So this
Correct.
is good.
Yes, this is very good. Absolutely. I am excited to take on Baltimore, except they are 0-3, and now we're probably it's going to be dueling pissed off Pringles. So that's going to be interesting.
Oh,
yeah,
that for sure.
That could be an interesting one. You had a shout out you wanted to give this week.
Yeah, actually, it's been interesting. Big thanks to Kimberly Lee for pointing this out. So someone on Twitter had posted that his dad played for the Eskimos, and for Father's Day, he wanted to do something special and was tweeting at the team to see if they had any footage of his dad when he was a player. Yeah. So she tagged me in a tweet and said, if anyone's going to have it, it's going to be this dude. So he put me together. The guy's name is Justin Hubert. Mm-hmm. His father was Henry or Hank Hubert, who played with the Eskimos 68 through 71. Okay. He was a offensive lineman. He was a guard and a starter. Played right. He was an Edmonton boy as well.
Oh, nice.
Played with Ron Forwick and Jr., played with Fred Dunn, other guys of that sort of era. So I happen to have a couple of games that I was able to give him. I don't usually make copies of games for people.
Right.
The league has said that if I'm making it for former players, then yes, I am able to do that. So I made up a DVD, printed off a little DVD slipcase for him with the 71 or 70 Eskimos with him sort of highlighted on the back.
Fantastic.
So it was kind of fun. And he sent me an email or a direct message on Twitter just showing me pictures of his dad watching it because it was a surprise. He just said, wow. Hey, Dad, want to watch some old football on TV? Dad said, sure. Popped it in, and there it was. His,
fantastic.
The glory days of him in 1970, 71. playing these games. The 71 was what first time we played against Joe Theismann.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't do as well in that game.
No kidding.
But, but whatever. But the 70 game was a great game. It's broadcast footage from CBC.
Nice.
It's got some of the commercials in it for Sesame Street, which was a brand new show, which was kind of cool. But yeah, just you get to see guys like Long Gone Thomas and that incredible defense we had. That's pretty much all the team was: Long Gone Thomas and a defense.
Right.
But the offensive line was pretty solid as well. Don Truel was the quarterback.
Wow.
But yeah, apparently his dad was just talking about the guys he was playing with and enjoyed reliving this because, he probably didn't see it. He was playing in the game.
That's right, yeah.
So it's the first time he's actually watched that game. So, yeah, just great to be able to talk to him. And, he briefly came over and I sort of handed him the disc and he said, I wish we could shake hands or hug or whatever, but I know we can't. But just knowing that, someone that played gets to be appreciated for what he did and gave to the city of Edmonton.
That is outstanding, and I'm sure meant a lot to him too. So
yeah,
that's I love when we hear those stories of connecting like that. Like that's fantastic.
And he got to see his dad play because he would have been if he was born, he was pretty young.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that was like giving having Jed have some of those games so he could watch them with his boys, right? Like
exactly.
I imagine that's pretty cool for them.
Yeah, I sent them out to a bunch of guys. I sent recently to Joe Holloman for his kid, and then for just a few other guys that again said, I've never seen it myself in that game.
Yeah. So,
or I had an old copy on VHS which is worn out or lost or broken. So to make him a nice decent copy on DVD, Lucius Floyd is another guy I sent a copy out of some games. So it's nice to be able to sort of give back to the players after they give so much to us.
Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome. That's a great shout out, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our movie bracket for this week. So last couple of weeks, we ran the first quadrant of 8 movies.
Yeah.
And we ended up with 4 winners. So the first winner was Friday Night Lights over Everybody's All-American. Our second winner was The Waterboy over The Comebacks.
Yep.
Both of those basically landslides for the winners.
Sure.
The third winner was, I don't have my thing.
Invincible over.
Yes, Invincible over Canute Rockne.
Again, the fans might have got that wrong, but that's okay. We love the fans.
That's how you feel. I get
that's
that.
Right.
Yes. That one was a little bit closer. There was about a 20% spread, I think, 25% spread.
Well, I tried to drum up the proper support that I thought the Gipper deserved.
Yes, I felt that you did try to win one for the Gipper.
I did.
Yes. And then the last battle, of course, was another closer one with We Are Marshall going up against Brian's Song. And that one only had about a 15% difference in votes, but We Are Marshall did pull that one out.
Yeah, actually, I tweeted to Alex Bazzi, who did play for the Marshall Thundering Herd, which is the team name. And he said, I've only seen that about 1,000 times.
He said it was required viewing when you go
exactly.
there. Yes,
totally should be required viewing if you go to Marshall, you got to watch We Are Marshall.
Well, even if you don't go there, it should be required viewing.
Oh, hell yes.
Yes, it's a great movie. So,
yeah.
So those in the first quadrant, those 4 move on, and we'll get them into battles in a few weeks' time. This week, we've got 8 all new movies going against each other. Starting on Tuesday, the first poll will go up. It'll be Longest Yard from 1974 to Longest Yard of 2005. So the longest yard battle. So basically in these movies, the convicts take on the guards. The original, of course, had Burt Reynolds as the lead, and Adam Sandler was in the newer version, and Burt Reynolds was the coach.
Yeah, I was great. I mean, I always loved the original movie. I'd seen it, I don't know, about 20 times before the remake came out. So it was very cool to see Burt Reynolds in it. And then the big twist at the end, they actually had a callback to. And then they no. And then the twist happens a little later in a different way, which I thought was pretty cool as well. So
that's awesome. Oh, and if you want to know what Mike and I picked for winners, make sure you check out the YouTube Live.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. On Friday, we have another comedy battle as we have the Best of Times from 1986 that features Robin Williams and Kurt Russell trying to relive a college game versus The Game Plan from 2007, which has Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a pro football player and then finds out that he has an 8-year-old daughter from a previous relationship and how he's kind of dealing with that.
Appropriate on Father's Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect, right? I should have ran that this weekend. Anyway, coming out on Friday. There's that one. The following Monday, one of what I think will be a very close battle, the movie Radio from 2003, which is, of course, based on a true story of a high school coach and a mentally challenged young man that wanted to play football. Amazing performances by Ed Harris and Cuba Gooding Jr. in that.
Oh, absolutely. And we said on the Periscope, or the YouTube Live Periscope. Ooh, old school.
Wow, look at you. Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. was excellent in that movie. And, I hope it does well, and I'd like to see it go against Jerry Maguire sometime. So that'd be kind of cool.
Kind of a neat battle. Absolutely.
That's right. Show me the movie.
Wow. Were you saving that one up, or?
Oh, I've been saving it for weeks just for this moment.
Yeah, you could have probably saved it when we were talking about Jerry Maguire, but
I could probably save it. Just keep saving it.
You could probably, anyway, that was good. No, that movie is going up against Gridiron Gang from 2006, which is also based on a true story where, once again, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in this movie. And he's taking kids that were in juvenile detention and then making them into a football team that is playing local high school teams. Very moving film. Some real intense scenes in that movie.
For sure.
Dealing with, gangs and trying to get out of gangs and those types of things. But great movie. I watched it this weekend.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I own most of these movies on DVD because I have a bit of a thing for football movies.
You don't say.
And football in general.
Yeah.
As anyone will attest.
Yes.
I mean, Brian's Song was such a great movie, and We Are Marshall from the first round. I don't know, Radio and Gridiron Gang, I think it's going to be a tough call in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last one, everyone's waiting for this movie to show up. Remember the Titans from 2000, of course, based on the true story, starring Denzel Washington as the new head coach and dealing with the social issues of 1971 and football, versus The Program from 1993, which is starring James Caan. So that's his second movie in this whole bracket.
Right.
Of course, dealing with the pressure to make a college bowl game and deal with everyday college issues. So both great movies. And we've had a lot of people already say, how dare you put them together in the first round? But
we dare. Who dares wins.
Gotta love randomness. Yes.
They're going to have to face each other eventually if they're that good.
Exactly. So just make it happen early.
Yep.
It's perfect. Watch for all the polls to come out on our Twitter feed and the Facebook page. You can find out, like I said, who we picked by watching the YouTube Live. And as we get the winners, we will announce them in a couple of weeks on the YouTube Live as well and set up the next bracket.
Can't wait.
Sweet. Well, I guess that's it for this week, Superfan. A little bit shorter show, but there's only so much football we can talk about.
That's true. We've managed, so we've talked about things that are very football related.
Correct. Yes. Football adjacent.
Movies, football simulations.
We're finding a way.
Old football, new football. Yeah, it's all in there.
It's all in there. Absolutely. Right. We might have to, in the coming weeks, we might just have to pick an old game and watch it separately and then talk about it like it was that week or something.
Geez, I don't know if I can do that. I'll see if I can.
You know what? It's hard because you really need to do some hunting to find a game.
That's true.
Yes, but I feel confident that you'll find a way.
1922 Grey Cup.
Sure.
There we go. No. Spoiler, we did not win that one.
I can't wait to talk about it. Did you know they can't block at all on kickoffs? Yeah.
You can't pass. There's no forward passing.
Oh, that's right. Oh, geez, that's interesting. Yeah. Pitch left, pitch right.
Sorry. 14 men aside, and that's the way we liked it.
Oh my goodness. All right. And they both teams ran uphill the entire game.
That's right.
That's in 8 feet
both
of snow.
Sides of the ball, we were 60-minute men.
There you go. That's what we're talking about now.
Yep.
All right. Where does everybody find you on all of the social medias there, Superfan?
They can find me at 56Parkies, and then the Eskimos history at Esk's History.
Perfect. And of course, follow Commissioner Kayla at Duchess Lombardi and the photo part at Esk Empire Photo. And of course, we got those on the first shot because I was saying it and she wasn't.
That's right. That's right. Somewhere, out there, she's,
right
now, back.
Somewhere out there, she's going, and what is that photo account again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eskimo Empire Podcast photo. No.
No. Oh, we love you, Kayla. All right. Make sure you follow me at Freepalicious, the show at Esk Empire Pod. Of course, follow Pay It Forward with Football on Facebook and Twitter. And check out all the great hoodies and masks and things with JR Sports at renfrofootball.com. And of course, on his Instagram. Lots of great shows coming out from the CFPN these days as we're trying to deal with all the things going on in the CFL world. You can catch up on those at cfpodnetwork.ca. And of course, make sure you check out all of the great shows on the Alberta Podcast Network. Do you know where, Mike?
Tell me where.
At albertapodcastnetwork.com. I'm good. I have to tell people that you snickered right there, so that's good.
Oh, they know.
Oh, perfect.
I can feel it.
All right. Find us on all of our social channels. You can find all the links at eskempire.ca. We will be back in 2 weeks. We will try and find another guest to have on. But of course, we'll talk football, movie bracket, and everything that's going on as much as we can in the football world. So make sure you stay safe, wash your hands, stay home when you can. So for Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you in a couple weeks. Get your votes in.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.